we got to talk Matt Stafford-Jared Goff trade reaction. But this isn't your regular Jared Goff, Matt Stafford trade reaction video or podcast segment because we've had some time to process this now. The dust is a little bit settled, and I feel like emotions exploded in the beginning and now are leveling out, and people are looking at things a little bit more clearly, I would hope. So what we're trying to figure out right now is what the heck just happened, all right? And that really was the mindset after I saw the trade. It was like, what is happening here? It truly did. I had like a rush of different emotions within 5 seconds of hearing this news. At first, it was excitement. I like Matt Stafford. I've always liked Matt Stafford. Then it was a little bit of sadness. I'm a Jared Goff fan, all right? I like Jared Goff. I think he's a good kid, and I think he's a good quarterback. And then it was the realization, the acceptance, this all happened in 5 seconds, the acceptance that this really was the best move for the Rams. Even without the picks, schmicks, I don't know. Draft picks they're so hit or miss that, I mean, would you guys rather, this is a genuine question for you guys, would you guys rather have the Rams draft a guy in like the second or third round this year, or maybe wait until next year, and who knows where that pick's going to be, maybe in the 20s, and try to get a quarterback then, or just go ahead and say, these picks can go away, and we'll just bring in a guy that we feel confident can get it done? I'm on that side. I really am. I am curious though, is if people are getting mad about the Rams not ever having first round picks. I know humans who have not seen the world while the Rams have selected in the first round. I mean, they're little humans, but they exist, and so it's something that we're going to keep on seeing for quite some time. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't hate it, and I also don't care how long it goes. Right now, we're scheduled to pick in 2021. If it doesn't happen, I think I'm okay with that. Or 2024, excuse me. If that doesn't happen, I'm okay with it. I'm 100% okay with it. And I've got some information on that that we'll talk about here in a second. Just about the Rams' first-round picks. Well, actually, you know what? I'll save that for the fan quesos. I do have a question that references that, so we'll go ahead and talk about it later in that segment. So if you guys are only watching this segment, make sure you guys hit the fan queso segment too to get that answer. So it should not have been a surprise to anybody that the Rams were ready to move on from Jared Goff. All right, that's what I want to make pretty clear to people is we blatantly were moving on from him. You know, when you have Les Snead going, what day is it, the 26th? Yeah, he's still a Ram right now. I mean, obviously, guys, that's writing on the wall. And once I heard McVay's comments, I had already accepted it. I had told you guys that Jared Goff's not a Rams quarterback anymore. Like, even though he's technically on the roster at this time, I had fully accepted that he was not going to be the Rams quarterback anymore. But it shouldn't be a surprise that anybody that he is now gone. And I'm not sure if anybody was necessarily surprised, but I have seen like a couple of people that are like, "What? I didn't think we'd move on from Jared Goff." Like, dude, do you not have like Twitter? Like, it's all over the place, man. Let's see here. So there's so many things to get into on this trade, and I'm not going to touch on all of it because there's so many things to get into, and we will just it's going to be a topic all off season. And it's not that I'm like holding stuff back from you guys. It's just that like there's nuances that keep on building into this storyline, which is really exciting for somebody who has a podcast that runs year round and will be looking for subjects in the summertime. So I'm not hating it at all. But the Rams went 10-6 and won a road playoff game with Jared Goff. Is Jared Goff or is Matt Stafford better than Jared Goff enough to make that 11 or 12 wins, maybe 13 wins, and maybe multiple playoff wins, not just 10 wins in the regular season and a playoff win? I don't think there's any argument that could be made that Goff is better than Stafford. I like Goff. I like Stafford. But if you watch the games, I think it's very obvious that Matt Stafford is a more talented quarterback than Jared Goff. I don't think that shocks anybody. I shouldn't be blowing anybody's mind. Nobody right now watching me is like, what? How could you say that? Because unless you only watch Rams games, which I understand that a lot of people do. But Matt Stafford is a better quarterback than Jared Goff. But by how much? That's exactly what we're going to find out this season. And I think that's exciting. So Matt Stafford, he has never seen a roster with this much talent in his entire career. He was with the Lions. And I see a lot of people bashing this move because Matt Stafford's not a winner. He's not a winner. He hasn't won anything. What's he done? The one year that Matt Stafford had a top 10 defense, they went 11-5. All right. Now he's got a top 2 defense. Let's see what he can do. the best weapon he's ever had, in fairness, is way better than any weapon that the Rams may, I don't want to say have ever had. The Rams have had some really talented players, but one of the best players the best player that Matt Stafford's ever played with, Calvin Johnson. The Rams can't match that, but that's it. That's where that list stops. Who else has Matt Stafford played with that's an absolute superstar? I don't think it exists. So now you come in and you've got a young Cam Akers who can get it done. You've got, Bobby Trees, Robert Woods on the outside who can get it done. We got Cooper Kupp still. For now, I don't feel a whole lot of confidence that the Rams won't trade him away. I don't know why I get that overwhelming feeling. We'll see, I guess. You got Van Jefferson coming in. You got a really strong offensive line that he will be able to play behind. I saw the numbers. The Rams were giving up just under 2 sacks a game this season, while the Lions were giving up 2.6 sacks a game this last season. So based on that number alone, Matt Stafford has to feel a little bit more confident, right? Sitting back there and trying to find Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, Robert Woods. I don't think Gerald Everett comes back, but maybe Gerald Everett. Maybe Josh Reynolds if he comes back. Van Jefferson, is he going to have more time to find these guys? Most likely, okay? And also, the Rams' offensive scheme is unlike anything that Matt Stafford has seen before under Sean McVay. There's going to be a lot more rollouts, a lot more play action. I think all of that comes into play and benefits Matt Stafford in ways that he has never seen. He has not seen this much talent at all. Not just the roster, but also the coaching staff. I like Jared Goff. I really do. I've always been a Goff guy. I don't have his jersey, but I stopped by and player jerseys while they're still here because that guaranteed that was the next player gone if I would buy their jersey. So I stopped doing it for everybody else's sake. And I know that there are some people that still have that like bad luck attached to them. And so I like Jared Goff. I really do. I truly do wish him all the best in Detroit. I'm not rooting against him. Of course, I hope he fails miserably when the Lions come to LA next year to play against the Matt Stafford-led LA Rams at SoFi Stadium. Super jacked for it. You will have a lot of preview stuff on that one as well with my buddy Curt Steele. We'll get into some fun stuff on that week, but that'll be fun. But, I don't think this is my one point on talking about Jared Goff in this aspect right now. Is that I'm not going to make this show, any part of this show, about how Jared Goff's performance justifies or refutes the fact that this was a good trade. That's not what this is going to be, and I hope that none of you guys do that either. Every time Jared Goff throws a touchdown pass, we don't need to see posts talking about, like the Rams made a mistake. Jared Goff's out here throwing touchdown passes, or every time he throws an interception, see, we made the right move. He's out there throwing interceptions. That needs to not happen, okay? Anything that Jared Goff does in Detroit now does not matter to us, okay? What Matt Stafford does now is what matters to us, and I refuse to make this show about that, all right? And that happens all the time, and I'm not targeting anybody. I'm actually speaking specifically about one of my friends who doesn't even have a show, okay? So I'm not like targeting any podcasts or anything like that. I'm a podcast supporter. If you guys do a Rams podcast, you're the homie, all right? But either way, that's not what this is going to become. We're not going to talk about if Jared Goff has a good game that we made a mistake. That's not what this is going to be about. But I truly do wish him the best. I hope he does well out there. I hope he, has some success out there. I don't think it happens this year because that roster is pretty rough. But hey, Motor City Dan Campbell's out there, and I think that Dan Campbell and Jared Goff might be a better combination than Sean McVay and Jared Goff. I think that their personalities might just mesh a little bit better. So that's going to be something to watch, I guess.